Thanks for the assist, but what's the name of this team of yours?
You can call us Freedom Force.
Freedom Force?
Yes, Freedom Force. What say you all? Are we a team? For freedom! For freedom!
Freedom Force is probably one of the best comic book inspired games I've played. The game is very unique in that it's a strategy RPG that uses a team of superheroes. And while Freedom Force isn't actually tied to any existing comic title, past or present, it draws a lot of inspiration from the Silver Age of comic to create its stories and characters. Each set of missions in Freedom Force usually covers a story arc, and each mission is an issue of a comic that usually is bookended by an omnipresent narrator. The hero lineup is composed of a cast of colourful characters that draw their inspiration from pre-existing characters or hero archetypes. For example, the Minuteman is clearly inspired by the likes of Captain America, as well as other American-themed patriotic heroes. The Ant is a mixture of Spider-Man and Ant-Man. Man-Bot is a strange mixture of Iron Man and Rogue from X-Men. And the Alchemist is a hybrid of the Scarlet Witch and Jean Grey, which means that she is predestined to lose control of her powers and become a threat to all reality. Which she does, by the way. The entire look of the game feels very much like a Silver Age comic come to life. The colours used, the architecture of the city, and the look of the people that you see around the city. The stories are also very Silver Age too. Each comic arc involves you tackling a different supervillain as well as their villainous gimmick. For example, the Russian supervillain called Nuclear Winter attempts to freeze the city, Mr. Mechanical attempts to attack it with an army of robots, and aliens, well, aliens invade. However, rather than be a parody of Silver Age comics, like Eat Lead the Return of Matt Hazard was for video games, Freedom Force is more of an homage to old school writings and stories that you see in older comics. The characters are not overly flawed or morally grey in their dealings like some heroes you would see in modern comics, nor are they gritty anti-heroes that walk the line between costumed hero and simple vigilante. They are good old-fashioned superheroes who fight the good fight against crime. In the sequel, Freedom Force vs. the Third Reich, our heroes go on a time travel escapade to World War II and meet a cast of Golden Age heroes and villains that represent nations of the Allies and Axis, and draw inspiration from heroes and villains of the 1940s. An example of this would be the German mentalist Blitzkrieg, whom is a Red Skull-like figure. If there is one major problem with Freedom Force, it would be that the last game in the series teased a sequel with a cliffhanger ending, but so far nothing has come out of that. Which is a shame, since they could have explored the different ages of comics quite well. One scenario I'd love to see is the team gets sent to a post-apocalyptic world of 90s comics, where everyone is a Liefeldian nightmare creature with large chests and tiny heads, and pouches have supplanted mankind as the dominant species on the planet. Sadly, it seems these days Freedom Force developers Irrational Studios have dedicated themselves to make the Bioshock series, which in my opinion isn't all that it's cracked up to be, but that's another story. Will we ever see a Freedom Force versus the Pouch Assassins of the 90s? Who knows, but for the present I can be grateful that I played these two games that are truly unique.
Lad, I have kids to feed.
Well, you don't like falafel?
Where did your pal go with the stolen documents?
I never knew. I don't know.
It's a long way to the ground.
I don't know. I never knew. Never. I never went to the drop-off point. It was in the Narrows. Cops only go there when they're in force.
You look tired, chum. Why not take a little nap?
Stop!